This is a great spot. Look a little different this summer, but people are still going to Old Orchard Beach. And Heidi Kern said, the photographer, that she saw this moment of like a young man climbing up on the lifeguard station. And she grew up in the neighborhood. And so she said it instantly brought her back to childhood summers there.
And at the complete opposite end of Maine, literally and figuratively, Ben Williamson with a beautiful shot from the Allagash Wilderness waterway.
Our staff photographer, Ben, had a chance to go out to the Allagash earlier this summer with an outfit called Canoe the Wild. And I still don't know how he finagled this, but he managed to get a rare permit to shoot with a drone, which, it's a federally managed wilderness area and the state is involved, and that's not always a given. But he came back with some really neat stuff that we'll probably use here and there over the course of the next year.
You've got an article that has a list of the best places to camp in Maine. This is really useful for this summer when this is what people want to do, is get away from the crowds and be outside with fresh air.
Yeah.
Let's just hit some of the places that you talk about. Hermit Island Campground in Phippsburg
Is a classic and also a hard reservation. You got to reserve it a year in advance. They were closed at least the first half of the summer. I'm not sure where they stand right now. A lot of these places have under different requirements and things this year. But we had a contributor, Caroline Paderio, who has gone every year with her family. It's a tradition like so many of these places, and just beautiful coastal sites.
Let's move from the ocean to a lakeside campground. Cathedral Pines on Flagstaff Lake in Eustis.
So it's right on Route 27, and if you've ever even driven by, you've seen these towering red pines. It's a really beautiful spot, and a great spot particularly. They have really nice facilities for RVs. We tried to mix it up in this package a little bit, have some sites that were great for tenters, some sites great for folks with vehicles, and then even some ones for boaters.
For people who really want to get away from it, Isle Ho is a terrific option. Duck Harbor Campground.
And Duck Harbor is a place that's closed this year. Isle Ho is functionally shut down to Acadia National Park tourists, but you weren't going to get a reservation for Duck Harbor this year anyway, because they reserve in sometimes minutes in April when they go live. It's a beautiful 5 sites on the south part of the island, this rugged, rocky coast of Isle Ho. You stay in a lean-to. I went with my son last year. It was one of the best camping experiences I've ever had.
People like the notion of camping, but they don't really want the grittiness of camping. Here's an option, Sandy Pines in Kennebunkport. What's this all about?
Maine has a fair amount of these glamping. I don't love that word, but the concept is neat places right now. And Sandy Pines in Kennebunk is one of these where you can stay in a really nice wall tent. You are camping in the sense that you are under canvas. You have the open air around you. You have a fire pit and a deck, but it is appointed in a way that's every bit as lavish as a lovely hotel. And we had a little sidebar rounding up places like that.
You've got another article on 33 beautiful places to eat outdoors in Maine. Again, keeping with this idea of getting outside, we'll hit some of the highlights. Pepperell Cove on Kittery Point. One look at the photograph and I wanted to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sort of dockside dining experience. The food is terrific, and it's just one of these places where obviously show up with your masks, call ahead, check the website, make sure you understand the distancing recommendations and things, but this is the way we're going to be dining out this summer.
For a lot of people, the quintessential lobster shack on the coast of Maine is 5 Islands in Georgetown. Combination of the food, the view, everything. It's just Maine at its best.
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of people watching have probably been there and are sighing and thinking about making a trip. They're up and running. It's a fantastic lobster roll, one of my favorites in the state. And you're right, the view is really where it's at. You get the islands, you get the lobster boats bobbing in the harbor. There's some great little hikes nearby. It's just really a terrific afternoon trip.
A lot of people are interested in farm-to-table dining. Here's an option where you really get right to the farm. It's called The Well at Jordan's Farm in Cape Elizabeth.
These guys pioneered some of this farm-to-table stuff and sort of farm dinners. What I really like about this spot is they have a few different options, including like deck dining, but they also have these little gazebos that you can sit in. So you come with a group, you're screened in, you're in the open air, but you sort of feel like you have a private dining room, and also the food is exquisite.
And let's end with rooftop dining at Bayside Bowl in Portland.
It's funny, Maine doesn't have a ton of rooftop dining. When we first conceived this, we thought, we'll come up with 4 or 5, but there's really not so much out there. Bayside does it right, though. They have an awesome little taco truck made out of an Airstream, so a little camping crossover. You've got the bowling downstairs, obviously, terrific views of the cities, great drinks. It's just a fun place. Again, social distance, please.
And you'll find all of the ideas for camping